Hey guys, Earth Angel here. I wanted to talk today about sleep, dreams, and my creativity. I, when it's time to go to bed, like at night, it's pretty easy for me to go to sleep. And it's even easy for me to like dream as well. But whenever I tried to take a nap, like I just tried to take a nap and it probably lasted about like 10 minutes. Like drifting off into the dream was super easy. But like I woke up probably 10 minutes later because sometimes this thing happens where as soon as I'm about to go to bed or like I'm drifting into that REM sleep, my mind starts thinking of really creative things. And I tried to look at my chart to see what that, how, why that occurs. And I think I kind of seen it with me having like a Mars Virgo and just all the Mercury energy that I have in my chart. It gives me a very active mind. And so what happens is I will come up with these, like, I will see visions of creations that I can create with like my jewelry, and I will wake back up because I have to write them down so that I don't forget them. Like, here are some of the designs I kind of like thought about in that sleeping phase. And then some thoughts came to me that were very clear, because I've been just in meditation on certain topics and things. And one of them, I'm just going to read all of them. I'm going to read all of the things that kind of crossed my mind. So the first one that I wrote, because I find that like I'm a really great writer and I'm really good at expressing my thoughts in words. And even speaking is good, especially like in person. But when it comes to video, it can be a little awkward sometimes. So I feel like if I write things down and then present them on video, they will be a little more organized and flow a little easier. But the quotes that I wrote were, some people are never taught how to properly express their masculine energy, so they constantly seek to marry themselves to a source of feminine energy. I thought about that because like the masculine energy is what drives us to do things and to give and to express, and the feminine energy, and not in contrast, but on the other hand, it allows us to receive and also to create and to be expressive in a different way than the masculine energy expresses itself. And I just observe people that have trouble, and it doesn't matter if they're male or female, but I do observe the attachment styles people have when they have trouble expressing the feminine energy, and just different behavioral patterns that they fall into. And so like I try to think of ways that I myself can be an example of how people can create it. Can express it. And I think that's why I like to remain creative, because it's a constant flow that connects me to this like eternal feminine energy, just that's been passed down through my blood, and it flows through me, and I feel myself going to that place a lot, and it's a great feeling. So like when I say people seek to marry themselves to that energy, it's like they want to find it outside of themselves and attach to it rather than tapping inward to the eternal source that they have within them. Another quote was, after that I said, not saying this is a good or a bad thing, but it takes understanding people who can go into those asylums of thought, meet them there, and meet them there fearlessly. And I said asylums of thought because when people have, I really thought about the 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces, and how it rules asylums and imagination. And I know when people have those darker thoughts, they go to that place, to an asylum in their own mind where they feel alone. And sometimes we meet people who meet us there fearlessly, like they don't shy away from us because they know that we have access to this dark space inside of us that may have us feeling trapped in some ways. So I think it's important for us to recognize our strengths and how we can show up for others, as well as ourselves first. But when you show up for yourself and you gain strength in certain areas, it makes it easier for you to show up for other people as well. And then I said, recognize monsters and understand their origin. Get to know where they came from and how they were formed, rather than being intimidated by their existence or appearance, because fear will only enable them to embody yours. So, in that part, I'm saying, like, I don't know if you've seen the movie, like, Monsters, Inc., and that little blue thing, he looked all big and bad and, like, boo, kind of scary. Like, but he was very gentle. And so sometimes people are born in different forms, different skins, different expressing styles and ways that they present themselves in this realm. And that can be afraid, like, other people can find fear in that because they have programs in their mind that associate certain looks and identities with certain actions and monsters and stuff. And so I think it's important to look past those things, because the same way we see monsters, we see people every day who make themselves up and, you know, try to be as appealing as they can physically, but they have many monsters beneath those layers of who they present themselves to be. So those people who show up in a more raw sense, who like don't have as much covering or who just seem unfamiliar to us, still deserve some level of understanding of what formed them to look like that, to be like that, to act like that. And I think that last part that I said, fear will enable them to embody yours. It's like when you give them the fear that you associated with those looks and stuff and you put it into them, then it's like whatever perception you had of them being this monster, you give it life and it takes on that form. And not only in your mind but in your reality, you give power to the monsters and initially, you know, and you say that they're real. You say that this is something that I should be intimidated by, and it's just not true. It's just a matter of seeing people, getting to understand, like, even, I'm not gonna talk about that, but just say certain contagious things that we experience, like germs, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Like, these things, people can put fear towards them, like the common cold. People could put fear towards that and give it more power than it has, rather than understanding that thing, how to deal with that thing, and how to build up their own strength and immunity so that they never have to be overtaken by that thing. But yeah, this is just, these are the things that keep me up. These are the things that make it hard for me to rest sometimes. But I do a decent job at getting rest at times. And then sometimes I stay up later than I would like. But yeah, I'm just exploring those thoughts that keep me up at night or throughout the day. Like, you know, just the things that rotate in my mind. So thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to your feedback. What do you think about these thoughts? And yeah, just what do you think? Like it, share it if you agree with them, or if you have something, you know, something to contribute, let me know in the comments. All right, y'all. Take care.